Welcome back to Coxie Tutorials and Gameplay. This is part 20 of our first person shooter tutorial series in Unity 5, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to make a weapon array that we can store different guns in, and then we'll be able to access them guns through code quite easily, and we'll also be able to pick up different guns up off the ground. So this was requested by one of you guys, so I am listening to what you guys want. It's just sometimes hard to incorporate things into this game as we've already written a lot of script, so it usually means that we have to actually change parts in different scripts to get it all working properly, but that is fine. I will do my best to give you guys what you want. What I've done is I've just gone to the asset store. I've already got the tab up here. If you don't know how to get to the asset store, just go to window up the top here and asset store. And then once you're in there, I just searched for free guns pack and this came up straight away. So I'm just going to use this. I know it doesn't have a pistol or a shotgun, but we can worry about that later. Today we are just going to set up the shotgun, and once I've shown you how to set up the shotgun and the minigun in an array, you guys should be able to set up any other guns that you want, and you can add as many guns to this array as you want. Okay, so let's get started. I'll go back into the scene view, and as you can see, I've already brought the shotgun into my scene and got it where I want. So in the game view, you can see now I've positioned the shotgun where I want the guy to hold it, just roughly. And I've also made sure that I made the shotgun a child of the first person character. So you can tell it's a child of the first person character because if I close the first person character arrow here, the minigun and shotgun disappear because they are children of it. And all of that is a child of the FPS controller. So an easy way, I'll just quickly show you to set up your gun where you want it, is to grab the game view from up here and just drag it down here to the bottom, and then you can just resize the bottom like so, and you can see inside your game. And now when you move your gun in the scene view, it will move it in the game view, so you can adjust it where you would like to put it quite easily. Okay, so I'm just going to put the game view back up next to my scene because that's where I like it, and I'm just going to resize this, go back to scene view, and let's get started. So first of all, we're going to make the dummy shotgun that's going to be on the ground, that allows us to activate this shotgun that's already in our hand, because this will start off invisible just like the minigun. So I'm going to click on the shotgun and Control D to duplicate that. I'm then just going to grab our duplicated shotgun. I'll place it over here away from the enemy a little bit. Probably won't be able to see it in the shadows of the tree properly, so I'll bring it over here. And also I remember from the minigun that the size is actually quite small when you look at it on the ground, so we'll actually make this a fair bit bigger and just see how that looks. I'll change the rotation in the Z to 90 so it puts it flat, and I'll just move this down onto the ground. Like so. And all we want to do to this shotgun is I want to grab it first and I want to drag it just into an empty spot down here so that we actually make sure that it's not a child of the first person character like the other shotgun. And we're going to also rename this so we don't have any confusion, and let ourselves know that this is actually the shotgun pickup. It's not the actual one that we are holding. So change that to shotgun pickup, and you can see I've also changed the minigun that's on the ground over there to minigun pickup as well. Okay, so back to the shotgun, add component, box collider, and this box collider I'm just going to, I don't really need to raise it up much higher. Just adjust it so that it's a bit easier to pick up. That should be fine. put that back to 0. Yeah, that should be fine. We should be able to pick that up, and just make sure that we make that a trigger. And now we can start with the coding. So actually no, before we start the coding, we'll make sure we tag this as a shotgun, because we can recognize the minigun because it's actually tagged as a minigun, and we need to do the same for the shotgun. I think I've got a tag. So I've already got a shotgun tag. So if you haven't got a shotgun tag, just go to add tag. You can just press the plus button here and add any tag you want in there. If you want it to be the same as my code, make sure you write shotgun with a capital S. Otherwise, when we refer to it in the code we're going to write, yours won't work if you don't have it spelled exactly like that. So that's all fine. It is tagged as the shotgun. So go into our scripts folder, and we're going to be working mainly just on the weapon pickup script. So open that one up. So that's open. Also go back into Unity and open up the player respawn, because we need to change just a couple of real easy things in there as well. But now we've got both our scripts ready to go, you know what we're working on. And what we're going to do in the weapon pickup script, where we have the weapon, the variable here, the weapon, is referring to our minigun at the moment. So all we do is next to game object here, we do these two brackets here, and these brackets will actually turn this into an array. So if I save this and go back into Unity, click on the FPS controller where we actually have our weapon pickup script, and now you can see here we have the weapon, and it is now an array. So to add guns to the array, it's very simple. You can just change the size of it to how big you want it, or you can just keep adding guns like this. We'll start with the minigun and drag it in to the weapon, the actual name of it, and you should get this little plus box. And when you let go, it'll automatically change the size to 1, and it will give the minigun the element 0. So to use the minigun in code, we'll need to refer to it as 0, because that is the first game object in this array. And when you're using coding, and generally with computers in general, it'll always start counting at 0. So the first one is always going to be 0, is what I'm trying to say. So the shotgun, drag that down into the weapon as well, like that, and you'll see now the shotgun is the second game object in our array, and it's number 1. Alright, too easy. So we have our two guns in the array. So go back into our weapon pickup script. See this here, this variable here, we don't actually use it in code at the moment, but this will tell us whether we're actually holding the minigun in our hand or not, whether we've actually picked it up. So I was thinking we'll probably keep this and change it to minigun, and then we'll also make one for the shotgun, because later on it'll probably be easy to switch weapons and things like that if we know we're actually holding the weapon in our hand, we've actually picked it up. So I'll just change this to shotgun. And as you add weapons, you can just keep doing this. It's going to be quite easy now once it's set up. So in function start, we have, when the game starts, we have the weapon, which was the minigun before, and we set active to false so that you couldn't actually see the minigun in our hand. So we're going to change this now, because this won't do anything now because the shotgun is actually in the array. So we will need to put in the two same brackets that we use up here for the array, and inside these brackets all we do is press 0. It's that easy. So now it knows that it's getting the element 0 game object out of the weapon array, which is the shotgun. So that is cool, and we'll also just copy this and paste it here. And now all we need to do, because this is for the shotgun obviously, this one, so if we change that to 1, it'll also make sure that the shotgun is not visible when we start the game. And weapon equipped is minigun equipped, and then we just need no, we don't even need to do that, just type it. Then we'll have shotgun equipped equals false as well, so that we know we're not holding any of them weapons. And here is the on trigger enter, the function on trigger enter. When we go over the game object tag with minigun, we set the minigun to true. So we need to change this here because the minigun is now 0. I'm sure you guys are getting the gist of this pretty quick now. It's very easy. Minigun equipped is true. And also we'll need to make sure that this one here, the shotgun, is false. And we also need to make sure that the shotgun equipped is also false here, because we are now holding the minigun. So what we're going to have to do is we'll have to do this for the shotgun as well. So to do this, we'll just copy this whole if statement here. And we'll just paste that here. And now we need to change this tag to the shotgun. So it was shotgun with a capital S. And we need to now make sure that the weapon 0 is actually false now. So the minigun's false and the shotgun is actually true. The minigun equipped is false and the shotgun equipped is now true. Okay, also what I want to do, we'll test it out first, and then I'm going to put in the line of code which actually destroys the shotgun or minigun ground pickup after we actually pick it up, because I do not want it to stay there now. I thought about that, and that's probably a bit silly. So we'll go back into the game, and there's no errors, and everything should work fine. We should be able to pick it up now. So just play the game for a second. So we're in the game, and if I go over here to the shotgun, oh Jesus Christ, where'd you come from? We can't pick it up for some reason. Let's just have a double check. Maybe that collider needs to come up a little bit like that, and I'll set that back to 0 again, and it is marked as a trigger, and it has got the shotgun tag. Let's just have a look at this. Okay, so this has thrown us the error now in the player respawn script, which is why we opened this script. We knew this was going to happen because we've actually setting the minigun to false or inactive once we are actually dead. So in function updating player spawn, we may as well fix this now. So to basically do this, again, it's very easy and fast. Just make the 2 brackets after the weapon and put a 0 for the minigun, and we'll do one for the shotgun just in case we're actually holding the shotgun, and then just change that to a 1. Save that. I just want to go back in here and make sure I've got this right. So I've gone over, the minigun is false and the shotgun is true. That should be fine. Okay, go back into the game. Okay, so that's better. We just had to make the collider a bit bigger. And now, as you'll see, I have the shotgun in my hand. And if I go over, it hasn't disappeared because we haven't put the line of code in to make it disappear. If we go over to the minigun, it should automatically swap to the minigun. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly make this shotgun a bit bigger again, because it still looks very small on the ground. I don't want that. And that is basically it for switching between the weapons. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to set this shotgun up so it's actually a working gun. So on the shotgun here, the first thing I want to do is I'll just lock the inspector up here, and I will drag in the crosshair script. Make sure it's the shotgun that we're holding in our hand, and we will just grab a crosshair. I was looking at crosshairs online before. Just typed in gun crosshair PNG. None of these actually look like PNGs, but what can you do? This one here kind of looks like a shotgun crosshair. Save image. I'll put it in my crosshairs folder. Spell that wrong, I know. Alright, so back into Unity, and then we'll go to Assets, Import New Asset in my crosshairs folder. And we'll have a look and see what this looks like. Okay, so it's obviously still got the background, so we're going to have to make that a PNG file in Photoshop or something. So I'm not going to actually worry about doing that now. You guys should know how to do invisible backgrounds and things. So we'll just import one of the crosshairs I've already got, which is different than the other one we're using. And now we should have a crosshair on the gun. Okay, so that's our shotgun crosshair, and our minigun crosshair is a little bit different. Yeah, so there you go. Alright. I just want to do one thing to that gun. It looks like it's sort of pointing up in the air a bit. Just want to turn it a little bit. Looks a bit better. Okay. So now let's get started on the script for the shotgun. So in our scripts folder, right click, create new JavaScript, and we're going to call this shotgun, and open that up in JavaScript. Just get rid of all this. So in this shotgun script, we're going to do a lot of things really. We're going to make it a prefabbed shooting script, and we're going to set everything up in here except the muzzle flash and the animations. So what we're going to do with the shotgun, with the prefab shooting, is we're going to make it so that it's actually got a rate of fire so that we can't just rapidly shoot it like we do the minigun. Even if we hold the button down with the shotgun, it's still only going to fire like once every second, or something like that. Whatever we make it, once every second will be good to test it out, and then we can do the same for the animations and things like that, so that it gets a chance to actually play its shooting animation and things like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be accessing UI through this as well, because we will need to actually make a counter. Well, we're just going to use the same counter that we use for the minigun. So yeah, we'll need to use UI as well. So import Unity engine .ui, and then we'll need a variable for the projectile that we're actually going to shoot. So just call it projectile, easy, and make it a rigid body. And then we'll need to do the speed that the projectile is going to travel at. So projectile speed, and we'll equal that just to just 10 to start with, so we can test it out. We can always adjust that, because that is actually going to be it's going to be in or on the actual game object we attach this script to, so we can actually change it through our inspector to how we want it. So we've got these three variables to start with. So what we might do is go back into Unity. I'll just double click on the shotgun, and we'll need to make a bullet that's actually going to come out of this shotgun. So I'm just going to do a sphere, which is going to be huge, and just going to resize it. I still want it to be fairly big so we can actually see it come out of the barrel when we shoot it, just to test it out, and then we can always change it however we want. That is pretty huge, so we'll just do it a little bit down like that. And all we need to do to this sphere, which we'll call shotgun bullet, and oops, what am I doing? We locked the inspector, didn't we? So this was actually the shotgun pickup. Sorry guys, I should have realized that I had that locked. So unlock the inspector if you locked it, to make sure that we're actually seeing the sphere that we just made. Shotgun bullet, and all we need to add to this is a rigid body, just like that. You can leave all the settings how they are, that should be fine. And now with our shotgun bullet in our prefabs folder, just drag this shotgun bullet and turn it into a prefab, as you can see there, and then just delete the shotgun bullet from our scene, because we don't actually need that anymore. So go back here to assets. Crap, wrong shotgun. Make sure these two are different. That's just shotgun, and that is shotgun pickup. I'm getting myself confused. Okay, so that is done, and now we need to add the shotgun script. Are we going to add it to the actual shotgun, or no? We'll make a point where the bullet comes out and add the script to that point. I think we'll do it that way. Okay, so on the shotgun, right click and create empty, and call this bullet spawn. I'll have a look where this is. And with my bullet spawn, I'm not going to do it attached to the gun. I'm actually going to do it so it's attached to the camera, because I want I want this bullet to actually come out of the center of the screen, and we'll just make it look like it comes out the barrel using muzzle flash and all that kind of stuff, because if we have it coming out the middle of the screen where our crosshair is actually positioned, it'll make our life a lot easier. We won't have to worry about trying to sight the gun in and things like that. So grab your bullet spawn and put it on your first person character, which has the camera attached to it, and then zero out the position of it, and then just move it forward, directly forward. Don't go up and down, just so it's actually in front of the shotgun barrel. I know I'm changing mine, but I'm actually just winging this, guys, so you know, I might change my mind a few times. But the bullet spawn we're going to have, so this should now be a child of the first person character, and it will be directly in the middle of a screen, so that when we actually shoot, it'll hit exactly where our crosshair is aiming already, which is quite handy. So that's our bullet spawn, and we will just lock that, go to my scripts and put the shotgun script on there, and then we will go to our prefabs and we'll put our rigid body shotgun bullet in the projectile slot, and as you can see we can change the speed right there. So back to our script, we've still got a fair bit to do in here. Oops. So we're going to have our UI to tell us how many bullets are left in our shotgun. So var, actually not like that, shotgun bullets left, and that is text. And then we'll do one for the sound of our shotgun when we shoot. So var shotgun. I know I write quite long variables sometimes, but I like to have it so that I know exactly what each variable is for and what it does, and I think it hopefully makes it easier for you guys to read the script as well. So the gun sound is an audio clip, and then we'll just have a private variable, and you'll understand what this is for as we go down, and we'll call it can shoot, and this is going to be a boolean. This will just allow us to be able to tell the script when we are actually allowed to shoot the gun, and this will make it very easy to have like a shot timer, or like a certain amount of time between each shot of the shotgun. Okay, so underneath that we've got all our variables now. We'll need to do our function update. And in our function update we're going to say if input dot get button. Now usually you do get button down to shoot one shot at a time, but as I said, we're actually going to make it so that it can only shoot every second or so, even if we hold the button down. So we're just going to have it get button, and it's going to be fire 1, so left mouse button. We'll just leave it there for a second because we actually need to now make the ammo type for the shotgun, and we're going to need to refer to that so that we can say that we don't want it to fire unless it actually has ammo, but at the moment there is nothing for the shotgun ammo. We only have minigun ammo, which is in our scripts, and it's in static variables right there, and we only have the minigun ammo defined as ammo. You could go back through all the scripts and change that to minigun ammo, but it's actually referred to in quite a few scripts, so I didn't want to do that to you guys. But you can go ahead and do that if you want, but just make sure you get every single one, because as I said, we refer to this ammo from the static variables script from about 4 different scripts. Static var, this one is going to be shotgun ammo, and we'll give ourselves, I know this isn't realistic at all, but we'll just say we have 15 shots in our shotgun at the moment, and save that. And now when we go back into our shotgun script, we can say if we push the button down, the left mouse button down, and static variables dot shotgun ammo is greater than 0, so we actually have ammo. And also we need to refer to our variable, the can shoot variable, and we need to make sure that that has been allowed to be true. So, and can shoot, just like that. So basically, and can shoot is true. Right, so underneath that, open and close curly brackets, and in here we're going to put our shoot function, but we need to make our shoot function. So I'll just write it now. So shoot, and don't forget the semicolon on the end, and now we actually need to make this shooting function. Doing it this way just makes it a lot neater in there. So now we'll do function shoot, make sure you spell it exactly the same with no semicolon on the end this time. So first of all, we want can shoot to equal false, and then we want to start to instantiate our projectile, which we've made here, and we also want to apply the rotation, the transform position and rotation of the bullet spawn point where this script is actually going to be attached to, and then add the speed from the projectile speed to send the bullet forward on the z-axis. So we'll do that now. So we have to go bullet clone equals instantiate projectile transform dot position, and then transform dot rotation, semicolon on the end of that. So that's the first line of code we need. And then the second one is bullet clone dot velocity equals transform dot capital T for transform this time, transform direction, and we're going to create a new vector 3, and then we need to do the X, Y, and Z. So we're creating a new direction, and now we're going to tell it what direction to actually send this bullet clone. This is just This is just the instantiated bullet that we've made, and it's going to add velocity to it. It's going to transform the direction to a new vector 3, and then we need to tell it in what direction we want it to go. So it always goes X, Y, Z in Unity, so we don't want it on the X, so we go 0, and then on the Y we also go 0, and then on the Z axis we want our projectile speed. So we're basically telling it on the Z axis we want it to go 10, which is the projectile speed. Okay, so velocity of 10 on the Z axis. Probably not explaining it very well, but yeah, you guys get the hang of what I'm talking about. Static variables dot shotgun ammo, which we just made, and we want to minus minus. So this is going to be all the things that happen after this if statement. If all these things are met, if then it's going to do all of this stuff that we put in the function shoot, which we are calling there, of course. So we also want to deduct 1 ammunition every time we shoot the shotgun. And now we need to do a line for our audio source for the shotgun sound when we shoot. So get component audio source, and forget these, and then it is we'll do play one shot. You could just say play one shot, and then the audio clip, which will be the shotgun sound. The shotgun sound, which is of course the audio clip variable we made up there. Semicolon on the end. And now what we're going to do, because at the start of this shooting function we've made it so can shoot is equal to false. So at the start of the shooting function you can't actually shoot, because up here we have and can shoot. So what we're going to do now is after it's done the sound for the shotgun, we're going to wait for like 1 second before we let the can shoot be true again, so that actually we have our delay in between shots. So to do that is really easy in JavaScript. It's a bit different in C. In C#, you have to use coroutines in C# and enumerators, which I was just learning the other day. But for Java, you basically just have to say yield wait for seconds, and then how many seconds you would like to wait. It's going to underline it red because I'm using Visual Studio. Yield wait for seconds, we'll do 1 second to start off with, and then we will make can shoot equal to true. And we'll also need to destroy this bullet after a certain amount of time, otherwise our whole screen will just be full of bullet clones. And that is why I didn't use prefab shooting on the minigun. It's a lot easier on the game if you shoot rays rather than flooding the screen with heaps and heaps of cloned bullets and instantiating them. So yeah, that's why I thought we'd do it with a shotgun, because we're actually not going to be shooting a heap of bullets at once. Bullet clone dot game object, and then we'll destroy it after say 3 seconds, so it's got plenty of time to get to its target. And that should basically be it for now. hang on, we also need to make sure that our bullets can be displayed on the screen. Of course, I haven't done that, so maybe we'll do it underneath here. So it's in the function update. Make sure you don't go out of the function update brackets. Just underneath the shoot function that we called. We will do it here and just do another if statement and say if shotgun bullets left, and it's not equal to null. That's right. This is exactly what we did for our minigun, of course. So if shotgun bullets left is not equal to null, then we want shotgun bullets left dot text equals static variables dot shotgun ammo dot to string. Okay, and semicolon. So now we're going to need to save that and go back into Unity, and on our first person, if I lock this again, what's this? Why are you giving me this error? Back into Unity. What's this? Bullet clone dot velocity. Transform direction. Oh, sorry. Of course. That like that. Okay, so make sure you've got your brackets here right. Sorry about that. That is much better. So save that. That was the bullet clone dot velocity line in our function shoot in our shotgun script. So make sure you have it exactly like that, and then save it and continue. Hopefully. Oh God, sorry guys, I'm making lots of mistakes. Also, in input get button, make sure you put these in between quotation marks like that. Save that. Another mistake. Static variables needs an S on it, so go ahead. The console basically will tell you, the little mistakes that you make. So always check that when you go back into Unity down here in your console. The red ones are the ones that you really got to worry about. And now we are good. So we now have a spot on our shotgun because we had this locked. We still have our shotgun up here, and the bullet spawn is what we actually put the shotgun script on. And I'll just close that shotgun for a second. And we have the crosshair on our shotgun, and then the bullet spawn for the shotgun is here, and we have the bullets left. So all we need to do for the bullets left is go into our canvas and our ammo UI, and we should have a bullet counter that we used for our minigun. So just drag that into there. And for the sound for the shotgun, I'm just going to grab one of my sounds. You can go online and just search for free shotgun sounds, and I guarantee you'll be able to get one for free. So import new asset, Unity assets, sound effects, and what do we got? We got a shotgun, pump shotgun sound, shotgun spaz, shotgun blast. Okay, that sounds about right. So I've got my sound imported to Unity. I'll click back on the bullet spawn and just drag this sound in the audio clip. And now I think we should be right to go for the moment. So we'll go and yeah, our ammo says 15, but it shouldn't say 15 yet. Okay, so we haven't got an audio source on here. I'm actually, now that we've got this bullet spawn how we want it, in the position we want, because we've got it set to the same as the first person character, and just moved it forward a little bit, we can actually drag the bullet spawn onto the shotgun. Just do not adjust its position up here. And we also need to add an audio source to this. Audio source, and make sure we tick play on awake off so it doesn't. And we'll go back in there and try again. So that's better. Because we've parented back to the shotgun now, we don't start off with the ammo and it works properly. So we've picked that up. I'm holding the button down. And as you can see, even holding the button down, it's only shooting the sound and shooting a bullet every 1 second, no matter what. So that's how I want it for now, and that is perfect. And when we run out of bullets, it won't shoot anymore. Okay, so that's basically the first part of it set up. We're obviously going to fix the bullets so you can't see it, and it's going to be a lot smaller and go a lot faster. And then we're going to do some animations for this shotgun and get it all set up. I'm sorry this tutorial went for a long time, but we had a lot to get through and we still have heaps more stuff coming up. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Okay guys, see you later. Cheers.